Kool Dude is with us tonight. Yes, man. You ready? You ready? Let me go here. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, man, it's my pleasure to have Mr. Jude, the Kool Dude, with us tonight, man. Yes, yeah, one of my favorite DJ ever, 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 ever. Yes, man. So please help me welcome Mr. Jude. Jude, good night, good night.
We're going on sing.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for coming.
You
We good, we
hear me?
good.
You hear me?
Yeah, I be hearing you good. You're powerful, man. Like you get some rest today.
No, like the phone like it working finally.
Yeah, man. Yes, yes, yes. I wouldn't lie to you, man. When we start this program, I see one person I really, really wanted to get, and here was you, man. I'm so happy that you come on tonight because we have things to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
and you bring out the people them tonight, boy. Everybody want to hear from you tonight.
I'll
So
get some
Jude,
blows. I'll get a little blows after this interview.
hey, what it is, what it is, what it is.
You know how it is. I just walk with it.
Yeah, man. You talk your truth, man. You know, you talk our truth, you know? That's how it is, man. So, Jude, let me start from the beginning. How you get started in this music thing, man?
Um, Let me see. I want miss nothing. I started this thing in Bishop College after watching Flower and Bishman, these guys playing music, Ivo, Living Eyes. I said, boy, this is my thing. So I tried my best to get in, and nothing would happen where Bishman, the crew was concerned. So we started a little group in Mackey's Hill with these guys, Fraser, Monty, and Ricky, and a guy called Dwight McIntosh. We started our own little squad, trying our best to see if we could impress the bigger guns. So we started record, trying to record. We found the turntable, we fixed it, we put certain things together, we tried to get every little thing in place. And over time, I realized that the guys from Mackey's Hill didn't want me to be a part of that group, with the exception of Dwight McIntosh. They didn't want me to be a part. So sometimes we would turn up to practice on evenings and you would hear music in Fraser basement, and then it would go mute if I hit the door. They would turn it off, so I would go with them. So then I said, boy, these guys ain't want me in here. So the only other way of getting in was to go through Bishman, which was a challenge because Bishman really and truly didn't want me around neither. Because my response was to the guys who were walking around that was um, the day I get in, I used to be teasing the guys who walk in and say, the day I get in here, I go be the baddest DJ in St. Vincent. And I guess that didn't work out well for Bishman. And I went in his yard one day and he got angry, tell me go out the yard, a few expletives and fire pliers at me. So from there, I say, boy, I better give up. You catch?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
said, boy, I said, boy, better if I give up and just forget about it. And then one day, I don't know if you remember Big Pops, Junior Pops.
Yeah, man, yeah, man. Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Junior Pops, Entertainment Block had a function doing for the JCs. And Pops came to me, he said, boy, Jude, remember I walking. So I don't know if you could give me a hand. I said, boy, I'm not coming around this man's song system because I ain't able. He said, boy, Bishman in New York. So I need your help because the exhibition was from 10 in the morning till in the evening. So he wanted me to fill in the morning to the evening, and I was still going to school. So I used to try my best to help out where I could. And let me say I started to play the Sunday, the Monday, the Tuesday when I while playing, Bishma walk in the yard. Bishma walk in the JC's yard and he was talking to members of the JCs But I was still playing, but I was scared that he might come and tell me, boy, put on my thing and don't touch my things and get out of there. And so, to my surprise, after talking with the guys, he came up to me, he said, man, you sound good. So try falling home by me and give me some, and I'll give you some pointers because you're actually mixing very smooth. Before that, my inspiration was Maxi and Harry. Maxi and
Okay.
Harry
Wait,
you
that's
should
that's Bish, my brother, right?
no. They're related somehow. I don't think he's the
Okay.
brother.
Okay, cool.
But they grew up in the same place as brothers. So he Max used to slip me into the house before prior to that and show me little pointers. So at the JCs, I was fairly good, mixing very smooth because I wanted to be like the smooth mixers. And their thing was if you are going to change in from one genre to the next, it must be so smooth. The transition must be so smooth that you won't really realize. So the practice came in there, and the rest is history.
Wow. You know, the first time I saw you DJ was up with the place.
But,
No, man. Up you know where they have the Kentucky going along the bridge up in on the hill up there, man. Traffic Breeze or something up there.
oh
You know
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was the first time I saw you in a bedroom. There was a party up there. You was in the bedroom DJ. And I said, "What?
Boy,
That inspired me. Trust me, because you know, you was like the youngest DJ we had back then, right?
yeah, I was a youth man. I was about maybe
Right.
14, 15.
I know. So you inspire us because like around the same age, and we see somebody doing something. It's like, wow, that was cool. That was real cool, man.
Yeah, that was boy. That was something. That was real pressure for me to try and be a youth man standing up between big guns, and then you had to face the men them who you would consider to be the elders, like men like Joe Mackey. They would pop
Right.
around and they would watch you play, and they give you inspiration, and that's where it came from. Joe Mackey, you say, youth man, you sound good. You know what I mean? So I give props to Joe Mackey, Bishma, Harry, same Whiskey Divo, Cedric Mills to an extent.
Right.
Yeah, and Ricky Hillocks. These were the men who say, man, you're gonna make it, just go ahead. Fight your battle. Don't let nobody hold you down. But it had a lot of that at the time.
Right.
Coming
Right.
up as a youth man. You're lucky
I
if
know.
you get 15, you're lucky if you get 15 minutes to play.
But I know you for so long. I never know all these things so happen.
Yeah, these things happen. I never really gave up and I was in love with music. So while in school, I used to fail actual music. And there was this youth man named Dwight McIntosh. I mentioned his name again. He is the son of Tony McIntosh. And he said, boy, Jude, you fail in music. Let me teach you the piano. So we would go up Mackey's Hill and he had a piano one day. He said, you know whose piano you're playing, Andy? I say, how am I gonna know that? He said, that is George McIntosh piano. So right there, he taught me the rudiments of notes and so forth. So I was able to pass music in school. So I give him thanks. I guess his nephew would tag him. You have a nephew on Facebook called Omar McIntosh. I guess he would tag him. So he would
Right.
be listening as well.
Nice, nice. Yeah, man. Wow, this is good history. That's why we want anything to tell us how the things start because a lot of them young DJs don't know how hard it was first, man. Because you guys had somebody die in the group, right? Flower.
Yeah,
What
we
can you
had
say about Flower?
Rockslide died.
Right.
Rockslide died, and I don't want to say that I was his replacement because he's my cousin.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say I replaced him, but somewhere along the line, I kind of filled the void because Rockside was a highly talented youngster going to school with me at the same time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he had mad skills, so I can't say I replace him. I could
Right.
only say I filled the void.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to live
Yeah.
next to him, right? I used to live next to him by the shop
Yeah,
down
they used
there.
to run a shop. They used to run a shop right on Tongue Hill. The sisters still living down the road next to me.
Yeah, yeah. So every afternoon, man, the man used to come home from school and start practice every after till night, till about till the shop close.
Yeah, the man play music till the shop closed. He the first man actually tell me try thing on the turntable. And I didn't do too well because I was scared. And you know when your hands get shaky, now you say, man, someday you go make it. Yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
at that time, Bishma was out there, Jomak Wax Masters was out there, Living Eyes was out there. You had big DJs out there. Well, you had the Leeward DJs like Bognan, Pepe,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
these guys are inspiration to me in a sense.
Right, right, right. So let me ask
Yeah.
you a question. Um, you and Bishma, you guys ever get recognition for the work you guys did for Nine Morning and the street bar culture?
Well, I don't think you just be recognized for doing that. I ain't sure. I
But
don't think you're gonna get recognized for just playing at a street bar.
no, but that was something big for our culture, though. Now the street bar, that you guys were very important back then to keep the carnival
Well
going,
then,
right?
right. Well, because of the fact that we chose and Bishma chose that we keeping this thing strictly local. We never played anything outside of Vincy music for carnival. There was nothing else. Even if Barbados had a big song or Trinidad, Black Stallion put out a big song, that would have had to go on the back burner until our carnival is over. So what we did was present our thing to the people. I think today is slightly the opposite. We try to include by
And
saying, well, Chinese just come over here, so we have to play some of their music, and other people is coming, and we have to play. I don't think that's necessary. I think we
but
present what we have.
but back in the day, Tune used to come over back in the day and we used to just play our music and they used to enjoy the thing same way
I
too, right?
mean, that's how the Chinese got to know So and other people, because we presented them, and their songs used to end up in their mixes. So you find Admiral Nelson would do a mix and a So in it, a Beckett in it, somebody in it, because we were selling that product. But now today, we believe now we're supposed to play like Kess and other people because Trini's over here. Trini's don't want to hear that again.
Right,
They
right,
want to
right.
hear what you have.
Yes, yes.
And that's my way of thinking because I am old school.
But that's
I
the right
believe
way.
in that.
That's the right way.
I
Because
believe
I was
that's the right way.
yeah, yeah, that's the right way, man. Because I was in seven, so I think it's 2017. I was speaking to some Trini, right? I was staying at a guest house. And the Trini them they take up the whole guest house. So I was speaking to a lady and she was like, yo, we come up here because we love the Vincy music. They love Skinny, they
Yeah.
love Fire, and they love Fireman. So they're telling us they're coming to hear our music and we don't want to play our music for them. That's crazy.
Well, you see, that's the issue. That's one of our biggest issue. You realize there was an interview with Trini Jungle Juice, and he told the people, man, I ain't come here to hear Grenada music or St. Lucia music because I've been there already.
Right.
I want to hear what you guys have to offer. And
But
we
you
have a lot to offer. You know, we ain't realize we have plenty to offer.
I think somewhere along the lines we just don't have the confidence in ourselves, man. We don't always think our foreigner is better than us, so we have to play the foreign music, to get accepted.
But saying to carry me down a road, I don't think it's that, I think is the DJs have to learn what the mission is. The mission is to promote country and not self. So you put out your product and you hand it, you sell it to the people. You can't be trying to get likes and what do you call it, forward and all them kind of thing because if I throw in this here, I'll get forward and if I throw in that. But we have local music that could bring the same forward. But you have to know how to present it.
Exactly. But see, if
Correct?
go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, you go ahead.
No, I was saying the same how they present the dance all them to the people, right? With all the energy and the pull up and thing. If they introduce soca the right way, the right energy, people go feed off of your
Yeah.
energy as a DJ, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We are not, most of the DJs today, I find, not beating up on anybody because there's a lot of talent out there. I watch local DJs play who have a lot of talent. But the whole thing is it cannot be about you and what people see in you because you're looking for this forward thing. You need to present your country, present your music, present whatever you have, and stop worrying about forward and money pull up and this foolishness. This is ignorance.
Yes, yes. Because before COVID, right? The top promoters in Canada and Toronto, they was trying to get Caribana to just play soca music. That was their mission, just soca. They didn't want to dance or no hip hop. They was trying to get rid of that because they realized this is our thing, man.
No, but I never knew that was happening. So
Yeah,
dance all playing Caribana.
yeah, man. Bro, one of the biggest band was to be a dancehall and hip hop band, and they had to ban it because there was most of the shooting used to be from the dancehall and hip hop, the truck. So one time they had to
Yeah.
ban it. They had to ban that truck because it was too much violence from that truck, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
that's news to me. I don't know. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's how it is. I'm not sure if it back, but I know they had to ban it because it was too much shooting and too much craziness because of that truck. Yeah, man. So, yeah, yeah. So we got to love our own things, man. We got to push our. But I don't want to get into that yet. I don't want to get into that yet, man. So let me go. I want to touch a little bit on Night Morning because back in the day, most of our best memories we get from Night Morning were from Bishma and Jude, all the group. So tell us a little bit about the Night Morning back in the day because it's different to now, right?
Well, a vast difference because Nine Morning then was, I think, coming from let me go to my mother. My mother knew Nine Morning as Crow's Nest and um, Bobby Brisbane places, Crow's Nest, I think, and we call this place over here the YWCA.
Yeah, yeah,
My mother, yeah, my mother time would have been what you call it, the Peace Memorial Hall with bands and latanes, and she would give me that kind of history. And then it came into the DJ thing because most of the bands, the DJ came in and Bishma came in, and we would look for a band and place to have fets. I think after a period of time, that was they cut that out. So now it's just you go. I don't understand how Nine Morning became a place where you centralize it to a place.
right,
I think we should have taught the younger generation that Nine Morning is any village, your village, anywhere you are. You could have your Nine Morning in your village. So whether or not you're enlightened up, you could hire cooks, you go around the clock, you lime, you drink, you have a nice time. I don't understand why we centralize it and call Heritage Square Nine Morning. I don't understand that at all. Nine Morning is any village. If you're in Green Hill and you want to do something, you go right ahead and you do what you do every morning. You could have donkey racing, greasy pig, anything you feel like doing for that time. No, we don't do that anymore. We teach them that you need to wake up and come to Heritage Square. Somebody got to explain that to me because that is crazy.
So Jude, for Night Morning, I think personally, I think they could do a lot more to promote it, like in foreign, because that's something unique, right? Nobody else does that, so I think they should have really
No, no,
do
no, 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 no. Apparently Grenada is now doing it.
Grenada do it now
And
too.
somebody is telling me Barbados is doing it as well.
Oh god, so it gone from us now.
Well, I heard that is what is happening. I can't verify it, but
Right.
Barbados has a Nine Morning, and I think Grenada now is doing a Nine Morning as well. Because I
Wow.
saw a couple videos where it is said to be Nine Morning and Grenadians were doing their thing. So if we ain't careful, we end up losing something else, and somebody else taking it to another level.
Right, right, right. But I think there's a lot of potential there to make money and to really push Sinvin so as a tourism product, But they have to
Yeah,
figure
but
it out, man.
you can't centralize it to one place. If you're
Right.
going to if you're going to spread wealth and you're going to try and make money, you Stubbs is doing good. You have to have something in maybe Shatterbelly, other places. You can't just centralize it. Because
Right, yeah.
the man in Shatterbelly, he ain't coming in town. And the man from Georgetown, he ain't coming in town. So who is in town? It's people from around the area, from the neighborhood.
Right.
So you have to set it up in a way where Georgetown would have 9 morning, Shatterbelly would have 9 morning, Barley would have 9 morning. Other places need to have it at the same time.
Right,
Because
right.
the 600 people to 1,000 people in town is not the population, is not us. If you check what I'm saying,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if we have 100,000 people in a country and 900 go down the road, we still missing a whole set. But
Yeah.
they're in Shatterbelly, they're in Georgetown, they're in Sandy Bay, so we need to set up different areas that other people and facilitate them in having their 9 morning as well. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
tonight I go Heritage Square, tomorrow night I go Georgetown, the next night I could go Shatterbelly, the next night I could go Bayaboo. Spread it out.
Right.
So I
And
have
hope
a choice then. I have a choice. I could go anywhere I want, any day I want.
right. And hopefully that they do something different, That will be interesting, That'll be nice.
I went to Stubbs and I enjoyed that because it is way more cultural. And I don't want to go down the religious road, but I think what we have in town is church. No, no, seriously, that's what we have in town.
Right.
Yeah, we have 6 churches or 5 churches every different night, and we need a little more cultural thing.
Right.
We
And
need a little boom jump, a little 9 man, a little. Bassi had it right.
yeah, yeah.
Bassi is who started and he had it right. Bassi had a little group and he had a little group for Amistad and they could have gone and hear the man playing the mouth organ. Then we had Cripple Bull who used to come up and sing and blow his mouth organ and we had a nice thing going. Then we had Muddy Night singing, Patches Night singing, different people. No, I can't go there. I'm going to church. I know you're a Christian. I don't want to offend you. Eh?
No, 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 man. Talking truth. No, talking truth, brother. And I don't get offended by that, man. That's you have to talk your truth. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel, right? But I like our Richland Park, though. Richland Park have a nice time. I was following Richland Park.
Richland Park is now picking up big
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
because they have a nice cultural thing going on out there. I
Yeah, I like
see
that.
go I see Richland Park and goat racing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Man, catching pig and greasy pig and stuff.
I was telling you, that's what we need back. We can just go into and stand up like a living dead. It's crazy. You have to get back them cultural things.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We have to,
I'm
man.
surprised when I saw the Richland Park and I saw goats racing, people racing goats.
Yeah, yeah,
The next thing you might hear they are cockfighting.
yeah, 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 yeah. I see, man.
Yeah,
I see they lifting up your wife, you're racing the wife, put your wife on your back and you're racing down the road. That was crazy
yeah, man,
last
all of
night.
that is fun. We need back the fun in the 9 morning. We create it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah.
you can after a period of time you can come and change it. It's cultural. It has to remain.
Yes, yes. Yeah, man. So we have plenty things to talk about. So that night morning, our street bars. Somebody was saying that unique to Saint Vincent. Is that true?
Well, apparently that's the history I got from talking to. Remember, I do a lot. I don't just go and say things without verifying.
Right,
I believe we started. The street bars were always there. I was told in Trinidad,
right.
and we had street bars as well. What we made unique was our street bars went straight around the clock.
Oh, okay.
So we would come, Hilux would come pick me up, he would shout me to come, and we started like 4:30. But we finished 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 to get the sanitation workers a space to clean. And let me tell you how stressful that was. Carnival started Friday, I would play at the bar, we would close down and start back 4 in the evening. Now, let me say Monday now. Monday I go in school, eh?
An exam
Then
too.
Monday,
An exam
nobody
time
hear
too.
joke, man. Nobody hear joke saying, I playing from the bar from 4 o'clock in the evening, wrong to say 6 in the morning. Go to school for 9 o'clock. Get ready again for 4:30. And so it was the cycle right up till the last weekend, which was non-stop. There was no shutting off of music. So picture you go in school, and when you leave 3 o'clock, or 2:45 at the time, you end up by a bar playing music till 6 the next morning to go school again, 9 o'clock. You are get up 7 o'clock, get ready to go school. Tell me how much sleep you gonna get. And we did that right around the, and here's the most tiring part. The Sunday, we had to take down the system from the bar, put it on roll off for a boat ride. Sunday to go back way. That was the Ricky Hillocks boat ride. And put it back off the boat, back to the bar, take it down Monday to put on a truck to go again. You understand? Then you're taking it off the truck the Monday, put it back by the bar, and put it back Tuesday if Ricky decide he going to use the truck for a mass band, let me say Dragons. You put the music back on the truck Tuesday again until 10 o'clock the night. Most young people today are DJs. Them can't make that up.
I know. You have to be disciplined.
Huh?
You have to be disciplined. With carnival time, you have to be disciplined.
What I'm saying? Make sure you buy your vitamins and your iron and your wherever you could take. Them days was cut liver oil, boy. Make sure you clean your system and get ready. Because that wasn't an easy task.
I know. Good night, Mr. Ron Pumpy. Yes, man. Yeah. But people don't understand. That's why when you talk, I just listen because I know I see you in action from small group. I know the contribution you make to St. Vincent. So when you talk, I listen because I know you put in the work. You're not just talking, so you know you put in the work and plenty work too.
Yeah, but saying we played at a bar, and I am so proud of me being a youngster, say 16, 15, 16, 17, and that same name you call Ron Pompey, Winston Soso, Beckett, the likes of them would come to hand their record to you, and you felt like a king. When you see Anis Carew hand over 2 records to you, and then she would want to maybe sing something. And they were live singing at the bar. So Beckett had his time. I think he shot music videos at the bar. Soso used to sing at the bar. But that was my highlight, knowing that I could stand up among the greats.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I used to like when we used to be at the record shop, Straker's record shop, and all of the big stars used to be there. The Beckett, the Soso, the member from Touch, Exodus, everybody used to Lime there, just play music whole day. That was a nice vibe.
Yeah, that was the carnival. That was really the carnival. Because now Touch used to just go, set up a stage in the heart of town, and just have a blackout, just to promote their album.
Right.
And we don't see that today.
No, man. I think.
But I have some celebrities outside, so hey, I excuse me every minute I look up. I got Dr. King outside. I got John Mason outside. I have Bell outside. I have Ipa outside, and I have Tana outside.
So later on,
I have Dr. Cleve Scott here.
Yeah. You come on just now. I want to deal with you first, then we're going to bring him on in the carnival segment. We're going to bring him on.
Huh?
I'm going to bring him on. If you want to
You
come
talking
on.
to you? Want to shout them?
Huh?
You want to shout them here?
Yeah.
Come.
Family?
Oh, wow. Mr. Scott. Good night, sir. Good night. How you doing?
How's Canada? How's Toronto?
Man, the weather bipolar. One day is cold, one day is hot, one day is windy. It's crazy up here.
Yeah. April is like that. April is like that in North America, especially on the eastern seaboard. And you're on the eastern seaboard. Well, the Atlantic coast, to be more specific.
Yeah.
Well, Vincy Marsh warming up. So
Right,
I'm here
right.
this weekend, doing a little bit of work with Brian Alexander Touch at his Rough Lab studio
Oh,
and so
nice.
on. Yeah, yeah. But Jude has some customers, some ladies. He has served some drinks, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Jude is going to serve some drinks. So yeah, takes a commercial break and he come back to
No,
us.
no, let me talk to you. Meanwhile, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. So you hear any music for 2025 yet?
Well, I'm working on some. I'm working on some big ones for Vincy. I hope the artists in here because they call me every day asking when to get the tune. But James P made a release song and go. You heard the James P?
Which one is he released two so far? I heard. Yeah, I heard them.
Yeah,
The
both of
one.
them. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
very,
Um,
very good, very good.
Grand, Big, and thing. That's a good track from James P.
Yeah, I love
Music.
that. Yeah.
Then you have Flanker, my buddy Ozari.
I have Ozari. I ain't had the flanker yet. I have
Yeah,
Ozari.
and
Yeah,
Hunter Flow sent out a number of tracks.
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard. Well, I don't know if they released the several tracks I've heard. Because people send tracks to me to review. I don't know if they release them. I don't know if you heard Madzat, he releases it.
Yeah, I have one from Azat already. Yeah, yeah.
Right,
It's working out good.
41. You got
Yeah,
number
yeah.
of things from Agent Bailey, Sky Studios, New York.
No, I ain't get those yet. I ain't get those yet. But
Okay, but yeah,
the
yeah.
project I like the problem child with him. In him the one with problem. We have Shalma Shell, we have Patrice Roberts. That's a really nice rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah, they're making it the wrongs around the region. Uh, I think that's Jack Spanner. That's Jack Spanner, right? Barry
No, no,
Jack?
no. No, yeah, Parry Jack,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
this,
yeah. Barry Jack doing some good work.
yeah,
Yeah, there are lots of tracks I've heard, but I don't know if they're released because people send things to me to listen to, and so on. So sometimes it's difficult to navigate. Plus, I have all my work I'm doing in Barbados.
right, right, right,
So this is a weekend off. Historically, since 1998, I spent Easter weekend in the studio,
right.
and I'm here to attend the funeral to a good buddy of my mother, John Mason.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
Um, yeah,
His sister's on the live too. Yes.
yeah, yeah. She McQueen, me and John. She hates say we up here on live and invite her.
I know. But tell me something about Barbados, man. I find like couple years now Barbados like they kind of falling off. What the scene in Barbados with the music?
Well, music tends to go through these kinds of circles, high and low. Um, there's some good tracks coming out this year. I had the opportunity to be in one of these sessions with Peter Ram. Well, he released one track already called Took Around, but there's another track he's doing for the Calypso Tents that still is lively. Randy Eastman, Quantum Productions, I was there when they were putting on the live ones. They asked me to come in and share some experiences with them. Then they have Blood Armstrong, Red Blood Productions, Red Boys, and so on. There's some good stuff coming out this year, but you have this cycle you go through. And if you notice that a lot of the tracks going back to the foundation as Buddy John Mason likes to use the architectural construction synonym, they go back to the roots. And there's a track I'm working on for a big Vincy artist, a mega artist that takes you back to root. And we should be getting that in another week or so. I hope he isn't listening. Because he's calling me everything I want to listen. But Jude is back here.
Yeah, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You already serve drinks and you have some
Yeah, man.
beautiful ladies. I'm going to go between them, see if I get some cologne or something. A perfume.
All right, Scott, big up yourself, brother. Yeah,
All
man.
right, you take care. All right,
Yeah,
bye.
man. All right, blessings.
Yes, sir. Just went to help out something there.
Yeah, it's okay. That's
I got
okay,
some,
man.
I got some celebrity singers in the house now, like Daniel Vera.
Oh yeah. Now your people there. so
Yeah,
Shark Muscle is asking about the street bar. Like what's going on in the street bar like for carnival? Or, like you hearing anything about the street bars this year? What gonna happen there?
That one I don't know. If I gonna have to talk to somebody who would tell me exactly what they're about to do because I think there's a need for it. You need to
Yes.
bring back the original thing.
Yeah. Because like
Yeah.
you know, we were growing up and thinking like we didn't have no money to go in the park, so we used to go by the street bars. That was our life. That was our carnival. We could hear the music, get them dance.
That's what does make me get angry sometimes because carnival belong to the people, the littlest man, the man on the street, and you have kind of put him in a place where you remove him from the street from making his playing his little trade. I remember when Park was in Galvanize. I don't know if you did born yet.
Yeah, but I mean, the same age group we're talking about.
But when Park had galvanized, we used to, there were bars from where OT is. You remember?
Right.
I don't know if you
Yeah, yeah.
remember that.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
whole area there was bars come right wrong.
Yes.
Then if you come up the road, you could have stopped by the man there and buy a roti. There was a old man there selling roti right there next to Anglican Church. And then you come up the road, music center never used to close.
Facts.
If your amp burn out, you could have get amp. If your speaker burn out, you could have stopped by music center, call them men upstairs on the veranda, and you buy a speaker 2 o'clock in the morning. And still by the gate they had an ice box, you could have buy a bay. And
Right.
as you go up the road further, everybody had the front door open, hustling a ice box. You could have get ice cream, anything, popcorn. When you reach up to building and loan, well, you know they had about 10 bars going up in that gap, where the parking lot by the courthouse.
Yes,
And as
yes.
you come right, then you had across by Manor, Singady, you had bars. You had up in the gap by the old commercial bank. You had bars up inside the alley up in there. What happened to all of that? You come up Heritage Square and you had maybe 2 or 3 bars. I remember when Donovan came playing at a bar day, then he had his kickers doing a bar day. Then on Bay Street, everybody had a little something knock up there. Billing the Maliata was just billing, constructing his building. And we used that to have a bar in the concrete structure. Right there. Then you had a bar where the financial complex is. Then you had a bar over on the next side when Balcom Hi-Fi came in town with the biggest sound system I've ever seen in my life. Balcom Hi-Fi
Right.
came in there. Remember a building, a restaurant that burned down there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
know what you're talking about.
they had a big space opposite White Lima. And Balcom Hi-Fi put a system, and we were on the financial complex side, but it was kind of muddy. And there was so much bars straight down to bottom town.
Right.
So you had the whole of Back Street and the whole of Bay Street. Now they mark out a cubicle, a little marking thing, a little square patch they mark out now and tell you you can put your ice box there, but you have to pay $300 for the season. Where they going to make the $300 from?
Wow, that's excessive, man. Wow.
I wonder if they're still going and do that this year.
Let's hope
Mark
not.
out these little cubicle. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Carnival is the people thing, and that is part of what took people out of the city.
Right.
Because I can't go in a carnival and stand up one place whole day. I need to prowl the city. I need to go down the road if Saint have a bar. Let me stop by here and drink 2 bay. If I go down further and meet another man I know, I'll drink 2 Guinness down there. And that is how we had it. Now there's nobody in the city. The ice boxes they cover down.
Wow. That's crazy. I don't want to get into the private promoters yet. We'll do that after. We'll do that. But Jude, I need to ask a question as a DJ. As a DJ, your your worst experience as a DJ, like you go to a party and you play and nobody responds.
I don't think I ever
You have no
experienced
experience?
I don't think I've experienced that. What I experienced was a night we played in Fellows, and there was Admiral Nelson and Dr. Hyde. I think Groove Governor had that show.
Right.
And me and Ice Kid dismantle Fellows. Ice Kid was at the peak. And when we got outside, it's only to hear, that is my biggest disappointment. Boy, them Trinidadian and them Bajan nearly kill all the boy. They better than all the boy. All they can't play no music, boy. And well, you know where that came from. The whole idea of foreign DJs better than local DJs. It's still happening right up till today.
Right.
I went to parties where I see local DJs outdo foreign DJs. But at the end of the day, the spotlight is who? The
Foreign
spotlight is
DJs.
the foreign man. Yeah, he carries a name and he plays the best, even if he ain't play the best.
But
The
we saw that.
local man is always downside.
Yeah, but we saw that on the live when you guys do the clash. We saw that happen.
Yeah,
A big DJ flap out.
that
I
was
was
which
I was
clash?
calling on the radio station. The radio station. We,
I feel I know what you're talking about
yeah,
now.
yeah. I
If you
don't
say
want to
you don't
call.
want to call the name,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
say
yeah.
you
But
call the name, no problem.
yeah. I don't like. Yeah, yeah. But that was crazy. That was crazy, man. But yeah, man. Simmons always had good DJs, man. So June, as a
Always,
DJ,
always.
yeah. As a DJ, the spots you like to play, like when you go in that spot, you get booked for that spot. That's your home. You feel nice. Which on the club, village, countryside, or say you love the most to play at?
I think for me, besides tongue him in,
No, anyway, like the spot you like to play, like you feel like this is home.
that could be South Rivers.
South Rivers. Why?
South Rivers.
Why that?
I don't know when the first time when we went to South Rivers to play. Remember in that time now, the ice skate thing was in the scratching and the playing with turntables and needles and doing trickery now.
Yeah, yeah.
When we went up there for the first time, boy, we had to get people to back people away from the turntable because we were so self now.
Yeah.
People never hear record double copy, people never hear record scratch. So in my early days going South Rivers, it was like, boy, whoever them guys and wherever they come from, they bad like yours because people flock to watch. They used to just admire people doing them things. Over
Yeah.
time, now, you find now people don't even look up in the DJ booth no more.
Because the DJ don't do much though. They just do a lot of talking, right? They do like skill wise. They don't do much. Some of them, most of them.
Well, I guess that made them believe that skill is not really. I guess the people made them believe that skill ain't really needed. You just tell me some vulgar thing and I cool with that.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah, tell me the clothes don't wash and I borrow somebody shop.
I know, it's crazy, man. But I used to love. I thought you were gonna say fellows though. I love fellows. I used to love
I love
fellows.
fellows. I love fellows. I really love fellows. But for me, it was that first experience was different because fellows for me was just a fete where you play good, people party, people enjoy themselves, and people give you ratings. But in South Rivers, you have to have bodyguard to keep people from the turntable. So
Right.
it's slightly different.
Yeah. But you know, the first time I went to Sandy Bay, right? When we went to Sandy Bay, I was shocked, brother.
Yeah,
The people in Sandy Bay know the new music more than us, bro. Because
yeah,
they still listen to
because
St. Lucia radio
they
station, I think.
listen to Lucia and they
Yeah.
listening. Some of them could have even pick up Grenada and Barbados.
Right.
They were kind of ahead. The first time I heard about Lucky Dube was in Greg's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to South Rivers and there was a guy they call Kang. He was picking up bottles in the floor and he had a little Walkman with cassette. And he said, yeah, are they a lucky dude? I said, lucky dude? Who is lucky dude? And he gave me this one-sided headphone with one speaker walking and the first I hear lucky dude in my life was in
Wow.
Greg's.
I know. Yeah. One time we went in the countryside to play, right? And the man was like, yo, give me some born in spade. I was like, I thought I was born in flame, the man I'm saying, right? I was
Yeah,
like, what?
yeah.
I had no idea. I had to go do my research. Yeah, man, the country people was real. Yeah, there was advancing music. There was real advancing music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're ahead.
Yeah. So we touched that. So tell Sunday school and radio station. How that came about? I know you used to do a lot of Sunday school and the radio stations them.
Sunday
Old
school
school,
came
yeah,
about. The manager decided to do a whole school show, and I think when it just started, Scratch was doing it, and Scratch now somewhere along the line found out that when it comes to collecting old school, that I was the man, the go-to. So he introduced me into it and said, "Boy, I think you're the better man to deal with that." And so I ended up in that. That ain't no easy program to do, and I say that's
you have to do
not no easy program to do.
you have to do your research. I know.
Not just a research, your collection had to be wide. So what I tried to do was remake a lot of the songs. So I would have 8 versions of Billie Jean. I right now I could have 10 versions of a Rick Astley song. So if you call me this Sun, if I play Rick Astley this Sunday, like we say, never gonna give you up is the song. And you call me back next Saturday, it wasn't really set up in my program to play it back. Already done played it last week, so I took it out. But now I realized I could play it back in a different version. So I keep downloading and remaking and helping myself change the things. So if I play Black Stallion, Black Man Feeling to Party, I would have 3 versions in that I rebuild to suit me. So the original would start with Black Stallion singing like an intro, and then I go and I take out the intro, the bang bang da da da, I take out that and just make the song a different version. So every time I play something, that's how I could handle a program like that for years because I can't run out. And if even though I repeat, it ain't the same. And I think a lot of DJs don't do that today. They and look, we have stems today, and we have so much modernized equipment, and we're not using them to the full capacity. I
Yeah.
don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I noticed that because when the stems came in, I was thinking that the artist would have used the stems. So when they singing, they could just take out the singing, and then they just sing over it over the beat. But they still singing over the same. They are over the voice, man. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's the problem. That is a big problem we are here. If you're going to sing a song for me and I pay to hear you sing, you can't sing over no track and I hear in the track.
But that's happening in competition too. I go Soca Monarch. I swear I hear that already in Soca Monarch. Man singing over
I
the track.
ain't, I
I
ain't too
swear. I,
sure.
I swear I hear that already, man. I swear I hear that in Soca. I was like, that's crazy.
Wait, like in the background?
Yeah. You
Yeah,
still hearing the vocal.
because what they're doing is using the TV track, and the band basically just overdubs the TV track. So there are snippets of the vocals and the back vocals in the TV track. I say all of that should remove and let the band play.
100%. Because when I notice the Jamaicans, the dancehall and reggae, I don't really hear that from the Jamaicans and the dancehall like that, like how the soca guys them do it.
You mean with the overdubbing?
Yeah, and overdubbing, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the dancehall. I think you can play around with Jamaicans with that. Because if you go up there to try the lip sync thing or sing over, something will happen. I don't think they will allow you to do that. You will have to sing.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
Alkaline they tried that, but Alkaline don't song like Alkaline without the vocoder.
Okay.
The auto tunes. So remember the people had an issue with that because he tried to shadow himself with that. And the people say no sing. I don't even remember that event.
Yeah. But Jude, we have plenty to talk about. The band culture. You think the band culture will ever come back?
The band itself.
Yeah, like bands, like how you know back in
No,
the day we
no,
have played.
no. It wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Why you say that
It,
though?
would, it wouldn't. We would always have the. I don't know if some of them think we should call them bands where they play stems. They're using stems now, but they're just overdubbing. They're doing the Born in Flames in the early Born in Flames days. We catch up on it late. But so we are doing that. I don't think you would find again an authentic band coming back to just be a band. It will just be a group of guys and we're going to recruit them and they're going to use the MPC and they use stems and they use Ableton and that's just the way it is. You ain't going to get another Brian again, no? You ain't going to get another Willis. You ain't going to get another Cherians. You ain't going to get them thing again. You could count that out.
Wow, that's sad though.
Well, I guess we evolve.
I mean, evolve. That's going backwards. That's going forward. What are you talking about?
Let me just walk. I have to walk with it, walking with it. We evolve.
Nah. We're going backwards with that. So let me.
Saying you ain't getting me in no trouble. I'm walking with the young people thing. We evolve.
But we gotta tell him the truth though. We gotta tell him the truth,
Pay
man.
attention to the carnival you know and the carnival that they say evolve. And tell me what you find strange.
Man, carnival back then was way better than this carnival, man. Way better.
So then, how do we use the word evolve in that?
I mean,
How do you come from a carnival that had 20,000 people packed in a city to nobody in the city and tell me it evolved?
but I think
It
sometimes too.
evolved to what?
I think sometimes Jews, some of the younger guys, them they don't do the homework. They don't know the history, so they just talking what they see and what they know, right? They don't really know. That's my opinion because if you know the history of St. Vincent Carnival, you could never say it evolved. Never.
But that's what they say. And if I open my mouth and you open your mouth, they say, keep your mouth quiet, you're old. So I'm going to walk with it evolve.
It's evolved.
I have no choice. It evolved.
It evolves. Okay, so we're talking evolve. So,
What
Jude,
people don't understand saying Carnival needs you, Carnival need me, Carnival need Cleve Scott, Carnival need Casper G, Carnival need every single element. And you cannot say, oh, that is old, throw it out. And they say old, throw it out. And then you come and use some excuse and tell me the culture change. Now, if you look up the definition of cultural change, what do you find? You find cultural change comes from migration. The main problem in saying culture change is migration. So the DJ who comes into the carnival from overseas, he find the need because he has gone into another culture. So if he come to play for Sleepy when with another event, he find the need to play hip hop, that he's now into that. He find the need to play dance hall because that's just the way it changed. You don't need it, but because I'm living outside and I look down in the crowd and I see my hip hop crew, I play that. And I see my pop crew, I play that. And I see dance hall people, I play that. It ain't really needed in the carnival, but they do it anyway. So that word evolution could go.
yeah. But Jude, I was listening to a radio station in Trinidad, right? I think like 2 years ago. So they was asking a DJ, like when you go to up the, they like to say up the islands. When you go up the islands, how you know what to play for the people them? You know what the man said? The man said the promoter. That's the way he said it. The promoter tell him play anything. So like, you can't really just blame the DJ. That blames on the promoters because they're telling the DJs them play anything they want.
Well, again, that happens in certain cases, and then there's just the DJ who does it on his own. He feel the need to do that because he's not living. I play Slippery when wet. I don't really want to call the event name. I've been playing Slippy When Wet when it had about 30 people down on the beach. 30 people the most on the beach. And Slippy When Wet went up to, let me say, 2,000 people. And we never played nothing else. Me and Ivo never played nothing else more than soca music. We had a soca party down there till people didn't want to go home. The police had to close it down. Then we see some DJs coming, they come from New York, they want to play, they fit them in, and then boom, dance out. And then boom, hip hop. Because you are living in that environment. That is what you call evolution. It is not evolution, it's you changing your culture. You adapt to something else and you believe that is just the way it's supposed to go. So I can't really fight with them no more now. Saying I pack up. I give up.
The man say we old.
Yeah, we old. Can't even be the young and the old. Let me give you a scenario in how ignorant we have become. There's a guy living on Tongue Hill, but he's based in New York City. He normally would hang out in Tongue at VJs. So he decided, boy, VJs, people them gone, soca monarch. And he would just go around like a lime. So he said he went to the bank, withdraw $1,500, put it in his pocket, and he head to Victoria Park. He went by the booth and he bought a ticket. Now, he said while going to the gate, a young lady told him, Mister, where you going here and see your old? He said he watch himself and he take up the ticket and go back VJs and watch the show on the TV. Now, this is a man who had $1,500 to spend. But you send him back home. And that's what we need to remove ourselves from. I have $1,500 in my pocket. You must have 10, but you telling me I don't belong here. We gotta move away from there. Carnival belongs to everybody. We let you in, you know. You remember that I'm saying? We let them in.
Right.
Just like my mother let me in. My mother brought me in. Now I bring you in. And now you telling me to take an exit. That's where we go wrong. I grew up on my mother music. And now you telling me now you can't go up on mine. I must throw it in the garbage. What you see wrong is something must be wrong.
Yeah, man. But if you look at Trinidad Carnival, Super Blue singing since I was in primary school. And Super Blue still performing Trinidad Carnival. A lot of the older artists still performing Trinidad.
Inspector still singing in Grenada. Gabby still singing in Barbados. Rasaili still singing in Barbados. But once you reach over here, where he going? You realize they don't show a poser. Poser is a thing in the past. He could go. Poser who shake this park with some of the greatest calypsos. He could go. So he out. Some other men. Rampampi could walk this whole tongue and nobody would pay attention to him. Likewise, plenty other people who have made huge contributions. They're not recognized. We have a producer in Canada named Azigoli. I know you're familiar with him.
Right.
Azigoli did Who Let the Dogs Out? One of the biggest soca the world has ever seen.
Right.
With Slim Douglas. He did Moving to the Left, Nigel and Marvin. He did End for Ronnie McIntosh. He did How It Go Look, Ronnie McIntosh. And many other songs. He did So One before Soca Monarch with a song named In Me Head. That whole album is called Better Than Ever. That was done by Azigoli. That have on songs like Langa Jamming and all of that. If the people here in the CDC tell me them ain't no who name Azigoli.
Come on.
But I'm telling you,
the same thing was
the only person in that CDC who knows Azigoli would be Ezzy. Nobody else in there know. Jude say, people meet me. Jude say make a recommendation for a man named Azigoli. Who he be? And I have to explain all of that. You're telling me you don't know?
Boy,
No, you tell me what's going on.
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Everybody
As you
should.
go from Calico,
Yeah.
and
You,
you
you
ain't
sh-
know as you go only do all of this work. You're not archive. Let me tell you where we going wrong. If I go to the CDC website and I want the calypsos, the 10 calypsos that were done for 2025, I now would find it. 2024, I would find it. When I reached 2021, looking for calypso, it had the name of the winners. You don't know what the song is. And then when you pass 2021, it's just the name of the song, the name of the person who win, but not the song. But you have the name of the song for all soca monarch and the artists. You have all the mass men and who played the mass. The person who which band won. You had the person who portrayed the costume, and you have the name of the costume. How come you don't have the calypso?
but I don't understand. Calypso used to be one of the biggest things in Sydney. So what went wrong with
Well,
Calypso? What went wrong with
they
Calypso,
don't,
Jude?
they don't, they don't archive the calypso. What went wrong with calypso is politics. Politics brought in this idea that certain calypso could be slanderous and cause lawsuits and a bag of rubbish. And then they start vetting the calypsonian because you now would have to submit your lyrics because our tent don't want to have lawsuits and all this rubbish. You understand? If a calypso is properly constructed, I could call your name and it could hit you. But at the same time, it does not have to be something scandalous or libelous or whatever is the case. Case in point, there was a calypsona named Pappy,
Yeah, yeah, I know,
and
Papi.
right, and Pappy was singing, and a bunch of people who did some wrong things. One of them was apparently Mystery, Calypsonian Mystery, who was working at the customs at the time. And there was some scandal going about with some container moving from the port and disappearing, and it moved on a Sunday, and Mystery name get tangled in that. But Pappy went, and Pappy said, sing it while singing his song, he said something about the container controversy and how the container leave the port. That was a mystery. You see how clean I could destroy you?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
say, how the container moved, that was a mystery. It's like we have we name, for instance, who said Mountain Me Muma. Call a man
Musa.
he say, yeah, we know who he was singing on, but he say he allergic to Campbell soup. You see how clean and decent that was?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, um, this man won a Calypso Monarch, does want a Calypso Monarch in 2017, where he sang on a man who apparently into younger people. And all his, the song name, Learn from Arithmetic. So let me say the man is 74. He is telling the man, look, whatever you doing there and whatever mathematical calculations you have, just remember 74 can go into 13. You see?
I like that.
And the man put him into court, and the man put him in court and lose because the court say, but the man say 74 can go into 13. And if you're doing division, it is impossible.
Exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. But I think so. I for Calypso, I think the top. Yeah, that choose the topics. I think that's like nursery rhymes, man. Normally, when we was younger, going to a tent, we want to hear all the social commentary, what happening in the country, because the Calypsonians will tell us what happening in the country. But no, you go to park, you don't really hear much of that. In the morning,
No, no, the thing. Let me tell you what they're doing. They're doing the Baron and Merchant. They're doing songs like "You Better Be Careful." That came from with this man named Shorty, Ras Shorty. I better be careful where you walk when and them kind of thing. Merchant did that. They're doing Merchant had a song named Silver Lining. Behind every dark cloud is a silver lining. You're telling you how things could get better. And Baron had a tune named What About? Like, what about love? What about peace? What about harmony? That's what they're doing. They're doing philosophical calypso, which does not attract people anymore. I don't want to hear, I want solutions. I want to hear you ask questions. I don't want to hear behind every dark cloud is a silver lining. It means nothing to me.
Right.
And from there, Princess Monique and them brought that style over here. And from there, it trickled down. And you find a lot of that kind of music coming out. So what you find is a good soca would be Chanel. We don't like we.
Right.
She's touching on Vincy and how and the mentality of the people. And then we have Sheena Collins who did beat them bad with Calypso. She was bringing out issues and points.
That was a good
Not,
song.
not behind every dark cloud. Nobody interested in that. That's the problem. You kill Calypso from the time you made the artist scared to write sorting lyrics and sorting songs. You destroy them.
Yeah.
I'm
But
not
you
supposed to submit my lyrics. Pose I used to add two verse on his tune and nobody knew what he was going to sing. Not
in
even
the
the 10th no.
in the final, yeah, that's true. I know that. Yeah, in the final nights
And not
in
even the
Victoria
10th
Park.
no. Now Pose, if Pose had two extra lines, you would have to submit it. You catch the killing of the carnival.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But people, Jude, we used to look forward. Well, we used to look forward to that because we want to know what the man gonna say. If we get other extra votes or what in the finals. We used
Everybody
to look
went
for.
to park. Everybody went to park for that. They
Yes,
know.
100%.
Boy,
Yes,
wait till Pose throw on a line. Wait till Miss Sierra on a horse. Everybody was waiting for that point.
yes, yes, yes.
You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
And what makes an artist good? I can tell you. Um, some of these soca artists we have today, I know you ain't reached there yet.
Yeah, yeah. We're today.
You
Yeah.
need to learn certain things. And I can tell you where's one. I remember me and Kool and a couple of guys, we went to the tent. We used to go to the tent all the time. And a guy came up singing named Prince Marcus.
Yeah, I know. I know him.
We didn't understand what Prince Marcus called. We stoned him. So the next year, Prince Marcus come up on the stage, and we don't pick up plastic bottle of stone him. You know. We say, boy, Prince Marcus coming up next, we go stone him. But when Prince Marcus hit the stage, Prince Marcus, the beat come on was them girl too sharp. You remember that song?
No, I
The
remember that
girl
one. No,
them too
no,
sharp.
no, no, no. I remember
You
that one.
remember the girl? Eh?
No, no, no. I remember that one. No, no, no.
Man, when you did sing them girl too sharp.
Oh,
You
okay.
remember the song man? Sharp. When he sang that, we had to drop all the plastic bottle them and refuse to stone him because Prince Marcus come and finally lawn and he mash up the tent
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because he said, boy, I can't take another stoning. So let me do my best to do my best. Then the next year when he come back with Don't Wake Up Jacob.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Another one. Another one. Another one.
Right, he
Yeah,
learn as he go. But
yeah,
now a man can walk in your studio and sing anything and there's no crowd to say, well, you passed the test. Radio now determines who passed the test.
right. But and then the next thing, killing Calypso too, Jude. A lot of the radio station don't play Calypso on the radio too, right?
Um, well, I don't know because if you want to hear Calypso, 705 plays all the Calypso. And Ducky just kill them, Ducky just murder Calypso.
Okay, okay.
So if you tell me a lot of people ain't listening because they don't want to hear Calypso, I sound a little more different.
No, the radio,
Because
the
if I
radio.
want to know, if I want to know what Patrick sing, or what Ipa sing, whoever sing, I will go there.
Okay. Because
But
the
you
radio
don't say,
station.
before you tell me people don't want to hear no calypso, so they would not listen to IPA.
No, the radio station I listen to in service, so they don't play calypso. That's why I said that.
Right,
That's why I
well,
said that.
there you go. You can say the calypso playing. It's
Yeah.
just that you in tune with the station that playing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it played. Might be
Yeah.
two stations, but they played.
Oh, nice. But one problem I have in, I like to play calypso, but that too much, not too much calypso than recorded music. I think that's a big problem too.
That was maybe somewhere down in the 80s, 90s. But I think now everybody records
But I can't get
because
them. I don't know where to look for them. I always looking for them. I can't get to play them. I want to play them, but I can't.
that's why I go back to the CDC. The CDC should have had these things on the page where if I go to the page and I say, boy, who did win Calypso in, say, 2020, I should have maybe the song or a piece of the song to listen while I check the information. So when I go to the site, if I say, boy, I wonder who did win in 2020, you're supposed to have the information there on the site as well as the song. So if I want to pull it down, I could pull it down immediately.
Yeah,
So I blame them for not organizing all them things, put them things in place.
yeah,
Let
definitely.
people get access. If Calypso is already dying, well, give it a push now, put it on the site.
Yeah, 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 100%. Because for me at my platform, we want to play calypso, but it's so hard. I have to make so much phone calls to get a song. I don't have time for that, man. I just want to
Well,
go
that's the
somewhere,
thing.
get
That's
the
the thing.
songs. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There are a few people who market the thing well. Fire Empress is one, and Chanel is one.
yeah,
Sheena thing and them are always up, but it's just a few. I could find Abijah, I could find Aipa, I might find Patches, somebody who put it up. But most of the rest, even though they are recorded, they're not there. And you saw so much young upcoming Calypsonians who don't even find the time to. Matter of fact, in St. Vincent General, we did not do not care. If you want an old song right now from let's say Asterix, you have to take a drive and go over 705 and ask Johnny P one of them to put it on a flash drive for you.
that's
That is why
crazy.
I took it up. That's why I took it up on my own self to archive all Vincentian music, right from the 60s, come straight up. I choose to do that on my own because I realize nobody is looking out for these kind of stuff. When you have a band from Sandy Bay called New Sensation, who did the Donkey Tune,
Right.
they came to me for the album. Picture that.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Now, picture me having to give Resurrection, bam, some of his albums. Because why? Well, boy, Jude, I might have them record somewhere. And I had them somewhere, but I don't have the methods or the means to either do extract them or whatever into MP3. And them things should have been done ages ago. You should have done all them stuff, archived and put down and put up on websites. Barbados, you could find the oldest food song in Barbados right now if you go on the internet.
Wow.
When the Ali anybody, and these songs were done in the 60s. How come you could go, some of them in the 70s, you could go and get any Bajan song because they choose to archive their stuff? Why am I giving New Sensation their own record? Why am I giving BAM Resurrection music? Why are you not archiving nothing for yourself
Yeah,
and for the
because
preservation of Calypso or Soca in your country? These things should be on a CDC page or a website that you could go and do the research and get them anytime. People
Facts.
calling me on the phone, Jude, who did do this? Jude, who did sing this? Jude, who did that? I am not that. I'm not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be taking them, coming to me for them, archiving them, and putting them up on a web page.
Yeah, they could simply give you they could get a job to do that, man. If they don't have the time to do it, they could give you the job and you get it up and running because that's very necessary. Yeah.
You need to keep your history and keep it intact.
Facts,
They got
facts.
so much music out there. It are people in St. Vincent doing no Otis Teixeira. We're even to find some Otis Teixeira. It are people coming and asking me for Pitani Brat. And you're supposed to have these things archived. You're supposed to have a page or a website on with all your music and everything. Barbados is doing it. Why are you not doing it? I could call Brown Sugar in Grenada and get anything from Grenada I want.
Wow, that's that's wow.
Likewise, Brown Sugar might call me and say, "Boy, Jude are looking for a Flying Turkey album from 1989. If you find it, link me. I could find it." There's a singer in Grenada called Calabash. Now, a lot of older people might know. I sent that music from Calabash to Brown Sugar that they didn't know he is a Grenadian. You imagine that?
That's crazy. So Jude, I want to say something to you. I make a post after young brother came third, right? And you were
Yeah.
saying no, he didn't deserve to come first. Personally, I still believe they should have put the young brother first for the culture. That's
I know he was coming with that. I know he was coming with that. What your name?
young brother.
Young brother. Young brother had a brilliant calypso. Um, my thing with it is you're fighting two giants because people who didn't know the guy who came first, a lot of people don't know this guy and his battles.
Okay.
So why pick one young person over the next because he carries a fad? But the other guy who sing and won is another brilliant singer. And it ain't the first time he win, you know. But we have
Yeah.
a thing where sometimes we pick up on a fad. All of a sudden, Calypso is being talked about because young brother singing. Okay, so let me draw a reference. How come we didn't know that Terry Lyons, who is just as young, win anything? She was winning before. How come we don't know Terry Lyons when she was maybe in her 20s winning? And we didn't pay no attention to that, but now wrong. So
Young brother.
young brother is now the center of attention. Why we didn't pay no attention to the 20-year-old Terry Lyons? So everybody now, oh, young brother should have win. Young brother is fighting two big giants. It ain't easy. And if you could come toward between these two giants, big up yourself. And it's not a fight down neither. That we like
No,
to
no, no,
talk about fight down.
no. Because everybody had to look at it differently, right? I was just thinking that maybe if you want, maybe they push Calypso back up there a little bit more. No? That's what
I
my
don't have a
take.
problem with that. I believe he did well. And to come toward with them guys, I believe you did well. You know how much people young brother be? No, we ain't studying that now. To come toward, you know how much people young brother be?
Facts, facts.
How much been in the show? About what? 15, 20? Brown sugar. It keeps saying brown sugar.
young brother,
Young
young
brother
brother.
be. Young brother be. About how much
Yeah.
people? 15,
About
16?
about about yeah, about 12 yeah, around there, yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, that's good. That's
Well, boss, you did well.
yeah.
I want to feel proud.
Yeah. So Jude,
I went in a DJ competition against Ice Skip and I didn't win, but I felt proud
right.
that I could have go against some man with that kind of skill and place. So I felt very proud. Some of we ain't just want to feel proud, we want to win. And you can always win.
Facts, facts.
Okay?
Yeah. So before we close out the Calypso segment, what do you think moving forward? What the Calypso and it like need to do to get back Calypso like back where it was?
We need to take Calypso and Soca as well on a tour. We need to start vetting Calypso as well. If you're going to sing something, if you're going to sing something that is libelous, we could tell you, well, you can't sing that with tent. But then there are things you're vetting that you should not. And we need to take Calypso outside. We have too much places right now. Um, Barbados crop over is after St. Vincent. And Barbados have a million things happening right now. I follow their cultural foundation page. And right now, things are happening. And their calypso, their thing is after hours, their crop over is after St. Vincent Carnival. So, as I wrote before, we have parking lots and different places. We need to use up these places and start putting the artists. You know, Bell is outside. Bell say in Barbados, if Saint have a shop, we go and we put up a mini stage outside the shop with lighting and everything. And artists upcoming artists from the area could go there and highlight their talent. What are we doing? We put them to make a CD and carry by the station and the possibility of not being played. So what you do, you take these the parking lot, for instance, I watch the most, is the one where the building burned down next to the post office. You could have a cultural expo day every weekend, every Sunday, where young artists could come. I say call it Sunday karaoke.
Right.
Bring people back into the city. Highlight the people, highlight the younger generation. If even they want to come sing a soft tune, come. If you catch what I'm saying, we
Yeah.
get too much talented people are going away and shunning away because nobody is there to give them that push and say, we have everything down Heritage Square, come sing something. Put them to highlight themselves. Them, if we can call them the younger generation and the future carnival, why they have to be fighting with radio stations?
Right.
And you as the carnival development committee, put them at the stage, give them a space, let me see what they have.
Right. Right. And give them the confidence
So,
too, right?
so just before the carnival, they had the confidence to hit a big stage now. So let me say again, in this Okamona, you know what to do. Look,
Yeah.
Gaza never went on a stage. But now you put him on a stage. And because you're not accustomed, performance, flatline performance. And he had the biggest song.
Yeah. Yeah. But I
You
was
see the
saying,
problem?
yeah. Yeah. Somebody was saying,
But if you don't put him on prayer and give him a feel, instead of waiting and bag to have something on the wet coat and some wet fet down the road, put him in the city, put him on the stage, give him the chance to grow.
yeah. Yeah. So Jude, what about the like what we're growing up, primary school competition and stuff. That was a big part for us because we had superstars from primary school singing calypso back in the day, right? Everybody household name calypso and used to sing from primary school come up to high school.
Boy, I only know two of them.
Who told you
I
know?
think it's I think it's Scorpion and Chanel.
No, our man Kemi, Papa Das.
Well, I know. Boy, Kemi could easily slip out my head because he ain't a rock.
Papa
But
Das too.
Kemi was part of that.
Papa
So now
Das.
you give me three. I can't really give no more.
Papa Das. You forget Papa Das?
Papa Das.
What's the biggest thing? It was big, even
He
bigger than
was the
Kemi, man.
yeah, he basically started the more livelier part of the show. So now you give me four because I can't remember some of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
no.
we had
What?
Papa Das, we had Chanel, we had
Scorpion,
Man
you said
Kemi and
Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had But somebody else I'm trying to remember another name. Somebody else who was coming up. A hand's coming late.
Yeah, even Johnny P was a good singer.
Johnny P was
Too.
good, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Johnny
don't
P
know
was
if
good.
Johnny P did school competition.
Yeah, man, we went to the same primary school. I know him from primary school. He's the same man. He was real good. He was real good. Yeah, Johnny P was good. Bad, bad, bad.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, man. He
I
went to
think there was a guy there was a guy who was the tours with the ATV bikes and them. There's a guy who does a thing out there with these scooter bike now, the 4-wheel bikes,
yeah.
the quad
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
There was this guy, the guy who runs that, I think he did junior too. His name is Prezi Huggins.
Oh, I don't know him. I don't. I left long time.
Yeah, he did, and then he went into soca when he went overseas. And he did sing "Get Up In and Move Your Container" and all them kind of thing.
I know.
That was it.
Yo, your brother on the live, man. Ivo on the live. Your brother Ivo.
Yeah. Big up Ivo.
Yeah, because Ivo one time, man. So they were saying Hans John is one of them and Pat Raggy.
Patrick, boy, me
Ha-
no Patrick from no school time, you know.
How about Hans John? They say Hans John too.
Hans John, yeah, well, I mentioned his name. I say he came in the late.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
Hans John, a fairly young guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Came in the late. The man who had the voice at the time was Kemi.
yeah, yeah. Kevin was big, yeah.
Right after Papa Das, Kemi was so good that Kemi ended up in a band with Papa Das.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was in Signal too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
you heard the story why he stopped singing like back in the day? It's a sad story, man. It's a very sad story.
Oh,
Kemi was saying why he stopped singing. The treat he was saying
no.
basically he was saying the treatment he got from the judges and people like he just had to just stop because it was just too much. Yeah, it was crazy.
I ain't getting involved with that one.
I don't say it. So
You see when it comes to criticizing judges and things, you ain't catching me with that one at all.
you love the judges.
My position is that judge's decision is final,
Ah,
and I have been in a position where I judge already certain things, and sometimes what I see you would not see,
right,
and your shortcomings you would not see, people would not see. So you might say, "Boy, he cheat," but you don't know what I know.
right. Okay, Jude, we are go. Let's go to the mass now. We're going on with the mass in St. Vincent, man. Mass. Let's go
Um,
mass.
well, you see how me blonde the ball jersey.
Yeah.
All I do is help to promote the mass in the sense of advertising. So with mass is concerned, boy, you got to check somebody else with that because I move away from that for a while and focus only on music.
Okay.
Mass is not my thing to talk about.
Oh, but to like
I made
somebody
one
like
complaint. I made one complaint about mass in a recent post I wrote pertaining to the launching of Carnival in Trinidad, where they took costumes built and designed in Trinidad back to Trinidad. I don't understand how you do that. I don't understand why you don't highlight or take a costume or even a queen from up here and carry it down there. Why would you take something designed and constructed in Trinidad back to Trinidad? You see any sense in that?
nope. But for me, for the mass, I'm very, very disappointed with some mass, man. Because growing up, I used to always go to Carnival, man. And I look at Junior Carnival last year and the year before, man. The quality real job, man. Back in the day, we saw some really nice costumes for juniors.
Saying you ain't getting me no trouble here tonight.
No, no, not trouble, but I'm just saying.
You
No,
ain't
no,
going
listen.
down that road tonight.
No, no, listen. From the
You you
outside
and
looking.
you and Sharp must go fight with the mass part, not me. Because I want to be able to walk the street tomorrow.
All right. We leave out that. We're moving again. Pan. What you think about pan? Like we're moving forward in pan. What's going on? I think so. I really like. what I'm seeing from Pan and hearing from Pan.
What you seeing from Pan?
When I was in Simmons so, for the last carnival, I find the standards very high compared to when I was there. I find the standards very high in Pan.
I believe Pan, from what I know, compared to what you know,
Yeah,
Pan, Pan has gone down drastically. And one of the things that destroy, let me tell you one of the things I notice, and we need to focus on that first before we focus on the bigger bands. And I said this to the panmen long ago. Junior pan, which is the punish them who coming in to replace the older panmen, we need to pay attention to them. You cannot in the schools, and I made this recommendation to Radney one time, and he said, boy, maybe you're making some sense. You cannot have juniors, young children playing Touch and Beckett and Blacks and Rebels still up till today. You have to put them where they could play songs that would attract their age. So if one of them want to play, if a band want to play Rihanna, it's kids. Let it go with it. And if somebody want to play David Guetta, let it go with it. So they could brag amongst the peers about a song that the other kids would know. So they would brag and say, boy, oh, they can't beat you, there's Rihanna, we're playing. But you can't, them can't go tell the people they're playing Beckett.
yeah,
They're 7 years and 9 years old. They're playing songs they don't know. You can't go tell a child to play touch, move your front in this time here. He don't even know when I'm touch. You catch what I'm saying?
yeah, man. Yeah, I never look at it that way, but it make a lot of sense.
Yeah, you have to give the youths them thing. Let it play their thing. I don't understand that you pass a panyard and you see some children 8, 7, 9, some of them 12, 14 practicing a rebel song. So. That song back in 1980. That song is 20 years, 25 years older than the child.
Right.
It makes no sense. Let them play what they're comfortable playing, which would be a little more simple because we have less music to play with.
Right.
We ain't got much music to play with. But it would attract the other youths them. It would attract the younger generation. You can't have people. Tell me what the children who looking up at the stage are listening to. They don't even know what you're playing.
You have to play to your audience, right? If they can play for young
Yeah,
kids, I'll play.
yeah, 12 years old people in the audience wondering, what they playing? I hear, but what they playing?
And they can relate to the song. That makes sense. Makes sense.
All right, and then when you add arrangement to the songs, it takes away from the song. Because you put some part in there like a run or something that takes away totally from the song. So now they totally don't know what you are playing. Yeah, this is crazy, man. But I
Yeah.
guess nobody is listening. Nobody is listening.
They need to listen to. That's why I listen to you, man. That's why I'm excited to have you here. So we go talk the things then because we need to have this kind of conversations, man. Because it's very, very important. So if you're just joining us, we're speaking to Jude, the cool dude, man. But Jude, may I ask you something? But I know you from a young age. You was a quiet guy. What happened to Jude? How Jude is
Um,
outspoken?
no, I get angry.
You get angry.
Yeah, I see things around me, and I never used to say anything. I man, people used to wonder if I used to talk.
I know
But
that's
then
how I know you.
after a while, you get angry, and then people say, "Well, boy, Jude play music and he don't talk. He's a dummy. They see that." And then a man say, "Jude, go and reinvent yourself." A lot of people need to reinvent themselves. So I open my mouth. And from opening my mouth now, I turn from being a dummy to a dotish. Because I talk too much and I feel I know everything. You see what has happened when it switch? When you finally get vocal, is when you're a dotish, you're dummy, you're dotish. Can nobody wants you to open your mouth. I realize the culture I'm living in. So
Yeah.
I don't really care. You remember I went into a face off and I won one of the rounds by over 500 votes. And I decided to put my hand in the air and celebrate. And a woman calling and say she don't like he. I don't like his attitude. You see, you can't even celebrate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if
You
you're from,
can't, you're not even allowed to celebrate. That a break a record, Jude get the highest score. But a lady calling, me don't like he. Your attitude. You see what I mean? So then, if you don't like what I say, so be it. But I'm going to talk.
yeah, 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 you talk your truth, man.
Yeah,
You talk your
I'm
truth.
not going to be the dummy you wanted me to be.
I think sometimes when you speak, some people get uncomfortable because they're scared to speak out. So when they see you doing it, they wonder why you so brave to do it. You know?
No, well, boy, sometimes you just have to take up the arm, man. Because if I stand up here and watch the woman over there getting abused and the neighbor getting abused, and I just sit down over here, one of these days, the next thing I go see is the morgue. I go see the vehicle come to pick up a dead body. So
Right,
if you're going to beat the woman over there, I'm going to talk and I'm going to get involved.
right.
I go say you can't do that. That's just how it is. And we have too much dummies in the country now. Now that I have removed myself from being one of the dummies, we now inherit another 6,000 dummies.
All right, Joe, let me go. I have a real thing I want to touch right now. Rhythm. I know you're the man who like the rhythm thing in the soca business. I know you don't like it. Tell us why you don't like this rhythm thing.
Um, if you talk to Cleve Scott, um, in a next maybe in a previous in a interview coming up in the future, you would find that Signal did an album, and Cleve came to me because he see me doing marvelous thing with this Alice's drum machine. This drum machine could actually play bass and things. Why did Cleve call me? Cleve called me because I was building something that he heard. He said, "Boy, Jude, that is very unique." And I went into the studio and built three drum patterns for an album Signal did. Now notice what Cleve did. He came because he heard me create something. Now today, who is creating these different drum beats? It's just a producer who removed whatever he put on top there and use back the same drum pattern and he say, this is where I'm going to use again next year. Why not try to be unique? The last unique beat I heard was the Problem Child Holiday. You check the beat in that?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
piece of
yeah.
a piece of African kind of a thing where somebody was the guy Just J was trying to create something, not copy something. A drum machine have 16 pads and 6 million tones. Go and create. Don't go and say, let me just move off the top here, walk back with this zombie, and go back with this thing. What we are making today is what I call Nintendo music. You play one note 3 times, and because you play, let me say you play C, you play C sharp, you take the same C, it's just that you carry an octave higher by playing C sharp. And you take 2 notes and make a song. And you tell me you're the baddest producer ever. These are crazy people, highly deluded. You
Wow.
understand? You notice for the last 15 years, you not never heard a bass line in any song since Behind a Bumper. Name one.
I had to check it out. I had to check it out. Wow.
Oh, you wake up.
Yeah, I had to check it out.
The last baseline me hearing any tune is behind a bumper. You
Wow, that's
hardly find a man could create a baseline for a song today. It's drum and Nintendo. PlayStation music.
yeah. But you know one thing I noticed too, like I saw last year, right? I was doing a lot of new music from Saint Vincent, and one week I play a song, and everybody play it back, play it back, play it back, bro. The next week I play the same song, and nobody wanna hear that song. That is crazy.
Serious?
That's yeah. That's why I started thinking now. It's like something is missing. Something's definitely missing, man, in the songs them today.
Well, let me just draw this point. Um, there are a couple thousand songs that came out since this other guy sing what do you name Philly Dilly. You just still play that song.
Yeah, I love that song. I love that song. I love that song.
That song never played in the carnival. You know, that song never played in the carnival till he met me a day by a bar and say, why nobody ain't giving me no love? Why nobody showing me no love? And what will happen after carnival till today? So I'm just saying this to say, you might make a song and you're fighting the soca monarch scene and you're fighting the this and you're fighting to get in a show and a wet fed. But what happened to down the road? Your song dies Carnival Tuesday. Philly Dilly is still playing.
And still song fresh. It's still
And it's
song
still,
good.
I play that in weddings, house party, anyway up till today. And that song came out about 2008, 9.
Yeah, wrong there.
And
Yeah.
that song still playing till today. And then the artists who come in and tell me, Jude, do you worry about that for? Music is disposable. Okay, the same artist who told me that music is disposable is living off of one song. And that song came out in 2001. What are you teaching the youths? You are living off of a song that came out in 2001. It became popular in 2003. You are living off it. And you are telling young artists music is disposable. After carnival, 10 days, throw it away. So then when you make money from this one song, why don't you give it away? Give it away. You shouldn't be making anything from it.
Yeah. When I go back to the giant boys, man, something is missing, man. Something's definitely missing. So we think about the boya and the jab in our carnival. Kelly was asking
Um,
that earlier.
the jab thing, I think, is outplayed now. It could walk in Grenada forever,
'Cause that their thing.
but we cannot copy it or adapt it and keep it forever. It is Grenada. So let me say I had a piece of it. The first jab song was what? All Woman Alone, 1999. Next year, he did almost the same song with Alison Hines. Remember that? Let me see the bad boy too.
Yeah, that big song, big song.
Right, the next year, same jab, same thing came out around that time with Alison Hines. And then there was a rhythm to it coming down the road where they add a few more artists. And we've been doing that since 99. Okay, well, we took a piece of Grenada. Well, we can't jab it now. We can't create. We had a piece of that. Well, look how long Booyah come out when we were playing WCK. When WCK had the Monster album. Me and Ice Kid was in Tartola when the album came out. People ain't know it had an album before that named Cannibal. That is somewhere down in the 80s. You still with that today? You bring that back today? Where are we going? Will you come back with that again? Watch how long we don't drop that WCK. And now we're reinventing the wheel again. We're coming back now because we take the drum machine beat, as I said, and feel we could create anything contemporary, and then we use it back again. You know, Trinidad Bambuya,
They did?
go and check it out. Trinidad say no booyah in the carnival.
Yeah, I heard something that was saying that they're not gonna hire anybody. Yeah, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can't take an next man thing. If even though you have a piece, you take a piece of it. Well, okay, let me drop it next year now. You keep something from for 20 years, yeah, and but boy, you go throw it back at who's the same 20 years. Throw that away, throw that in the garbage. But let me bring back something from 25 years ago. Go and look when you come out this interview. Go and look for WCK Cannibal with a K and check the year on the album. We still there now. Since them do a song named Coney Island, we still there. We gone back, but we say we going forward, but we just gone back. Listen to all the beats on Cannibal and listen to the beats on the old WCK and tell me what happening. Why have we gone back there?
Wow. So Jude, we're saying so we have no identity.
Well, we have lost it. I don't think we care anything about it in the first place. I don't believe we care. It's because of the generation changing and they're saying, well, man, we don't. One producer told me what's the word he used, boy? We going with trending. A producer actually told me we going with what trending. So okay, at that time Jab was trending, so we're working with that. So we don't have no skill to invent, create nothing. We have not built. I remember in Frankie time, we moved up to 85 when with the introduction of a drum machine, and then Touch took the drum machine to another level and created even more music. Born in Flames, who took the beat up to 150, added even more music. Rebels came. People thought Rebels was from Trinidad because they created great music. Now what happened now? Who is building on the touch? Who is building off of that? Who is building off of these bands? Are we just going to follow Grenada? Are we going to build off of what Touch left and Rebels left and these other bands and what Black Sun left? Are we going to use that and go from there? Are we going to just say, well, Grenada have a thing, we go with it. And St. Lucia have a thing, and then we let's go with it. That's what we're going to do. Well, how long we going to do that for?
Wow. I know. So Jude, I gave everybody keeps giving us the credit for Raga Soca. What your take on Raga Soca? Because they saying Vincy create Raga Soca, start Raga Soca. What's your take on that?
That is where you're going to get me in some serious confusion. I don't believe Raga Soca was created. Cleve discussed me for this because this is my view. I don't believe nobody created Raga Soca.
So what's your view?
What I was hearing over the years from listening Calypso, you could take this for however you want it. I will get some blows for it. Um, Over the years, from me picking up all these old vintage records, I realized in these records had an element of a thing like a guitar, banjo, quattro. And if you listen attentively, if you take a man right now, 80 years of age, 90 years of age, and you give him a box guitar and says, and tell him, let's make a song, you're going to hear this. Chicken, 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 chicken. That's why you're going to hear. Now, that is the element of the reggae in the soca coming out of the calypso. Now, to me, making my judgment is if you listen to Mento out of Jamaica, it's almost the same thing. You're familiar with the song that we just played in the Calypso segments from Stanley Beckford and the Turbines,
Right.
The Dreaming of a New Jamaica. You just play that song. Listen it attentively and tell me what you gather. That song was made somewhere down in the 70s. Now over here, Beckett made a calypso, and because of the way how it's sung, Dig Me Calypso, we say, well, it sung like raga. So some people credit Beckett for that. To me, listening Beckett and Stanley Beckford, it was almost the same thing. Now, shift over to Barbados. Before we did raga soca, we were doing spooch. A lot of people don't know that.
I never heard that before.
Yes, I could tell you that. I could tell you what to go. I could play them for you. Caldrick Fabs and Lord Hawk. Okay, if you go on YouTube, Lord Hawk have a song named Spooch Time. You catch?
Yeah, yeah.
Before we knew anything about raga, we were doing spooch. So Spooch Time came out with Lord Hawk. You're talking about maybe in the 70s. And then we had a Grenadian living over here. His name was Lawrence Batiste, but he was living in New Montrose. He was doing spooge also, along with Caldrick Fabs. Caldrick Fabs have plenty spooge songs. He had one, Let Your Love Go, like a morning breeze, let your love. He was doing raga, so he was doing spooge at the time.
That was a
You
big
know this
song
song?
though. That was a big
Huh?
song. That was a big. Yeah, that was a big song. That was
Right,
a big song. Yeah.
it's a remake. It's a remake, but it's called Drake, and these bands were doing spooch. So Hawk recorded in Barbados and so forth. So Raga came now, touch started to incorporate the dancehall artists. That was our version, So Mr. Brian saw the record in the DJ booth, Mark Raga Raga, coming out of England. It was a compilation that came from England. And Brian took the raga wardy. And because we put in Fafa and Corti and whatever, in came Raga Soca. Now I am subject to correction. Me and Cleveland had this argument. Maybe other people have arguments with it. And I'm not going to fight no battle. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't have to be correct. So check it out yourself. That's why Edwin here would have highlighted that guitar in Wetton. That's why he did that. That is the element of a calypso. That's strum. But do your own research.
Yo, you give me some history. I never knew that. I never knew that this is yeah, yeah. So I want to ask you something, Jude. Grenada implement something last year. Say they only want two outside artists at a show. What do you think about that?
I never heard it.
You never heard that?
No, you're not telling me that. I heard when they said keep stick to the music, keep to their music and don't go on the road. The road belongs to Grenada music, and they said not to play music from elsewhere on the road. That's the only thing I heard. I didn't know
No,
about
last year.
bringing in artists.
Yeah,
I
last
don't
year.
know about bringing in artists.
Yeah, no, they implement the last year. Any show, you can only have two outside act on a show.
Well, I first I hearing that.
Yeah. And that was a big
I will
that
go
was a
check
big
it and
thing on
tell
the internet.
you.
Huh?
I go call Scratch and ask him.
No, that's real talk, real talk, real talk. That was a
Okay.
big thing in Grenada. So, a lot of the artists did not like it, but I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
necessary. I personally think it's necessary because I think some of the promoters go overboard and forget the local artists. Them. That's my opinion. And that's what I think.
Same. It happened with the DJs.
Right.
It happened with the DJs when around the carnival time in the early times, and I could go back to certain events that I played for, one of them being Slippery When Wet. I used to have to reach down there for 12, play till 5. I would come on until about 8, and I would continue till about 10. Then they took me and I out of the spotlight, put me to play in the evening before all the high-tech camera crew came in and the highlight, the spotlight, turned out a city when it became big. And you put we to play and show you off the stage and you bring DJs from elsewhere. So the mileage for us disappeared. So now, let me say Saint is in Canada. Let me say Saint live Germany. And the cameras are now featuring DJs playing at this event. A man from Germany might tend to say, that DJ is good, where you from? You go and tell him Trinidad? In a Vincy event. Oh, he from Trinidad. He name rapid response. Oh, he from this one, he from St. Lucia. He name Levi Chin. Oh, would that make any sense? Well, you took out the local DJs from the spotlight and you put in some foreign people. Now here's the Canadian camera crew, here's the British camera crew, here's Trini Jungle Juice, but we don't play since 3 o'clock. We're playing the hot sun for nobody. That makes sense? So it comes the same as the question they asked me before. So much thing have been thrown away and discarded because you serve no purpose anymore. So artists gonna feel it. DJs already don't feel it. So be it, boy.
Yo, you know something got me real mad. I was listening to couple DJs, outside DJs speaking, right? And they were saying that they go to Vincy and there is the one that bossing Vincy music and the local DJs on boss music. They had to boss our music for us.
Well, I think some mad Russian guy came here the other day and embarrassed them the same way.
But that's
I don't
crazy.
know if I think that is his name. He say all the crazy. And the man started to play local music that them do him want to play. So what you gonna do? It all goes back to this cultural change switch where a lot of these DJs who come down from New York and think have to know what time it is. You are home, HOME. And what do you do home? You eat mommy bakes and mommy catfish. You come back to your roots. So take the local thing and put it out there. Take what you have and take it out there. But you come down with your Americanized version of what you think carnival should be, and you want to change it. So then go ahead. I keep it out and I say you can fight with them.
Yeah, but Jude, back in the day, right? We saw okay, we saw always import some DJs who come in from foreign, right? But the local DJs,
Go over there, let me hear.
no, I'm saying back in the day, we used to have like some DJs coming, like Almal Nice, so Howie T and them guys, right? But
Yeah.
we used to put pressure on those DJs. They never come in savings and show off on us because we was at that standard. You're nice kid, and them guys was at that standard even better than those guys. They couldn't come savings and do what they want. They had to follow what we're doing. But now the foreign DJs come in and dictate what's happening in the savings. So that's different. Totally
Well,
craziness.
it's the people, the people say, oh, big name. And they use that. It's like rapid response. Rapid response is two guys who went to UE and play on campus. Now, when the UE people come over, they say rapid response. There they are. I've never heard of a rapid response in any fete and any big event in Trinidad. I sure you never heard it neither. But this is what I tell you, when you go over there and you get caught up with them and you say, okay, let's get them. And then we had these wicked and evil promoters who bring them in, house them. If you are so in demand, why you could stay over here for a whole carnival season?
Facts.
How is it
Facts.
possible that you are a big DJ, but you are here for an entire season, and then the evil promoters keep them, house them, and sell them? You are enough show. I have rapid response over here now. Just give me 2,000 US. So it works in a niche where if I could just accommodate them, put them in a house, leave them here, because my house, I ain't had to pay no rent, I ain't had to do nothing, all I had to do is feed them. The return is great because I could sell them back to an ex-promoter who is having a show Friday, and then I could sell them Saturday, and then I could sell them Sunday, and it pays.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, man. And next thing I noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, but I noticed in Trinidad Carnival this year, there was not too much outside headliners for the shows. Them most of the like normally you go see a lot of outside headliners for shows in Trinidad, but this year it was totally different. It was mostly Trinidad that was doing the headlines for the shows. Did you notice that?
I was told, I can't say I noticed. I was told that Trinidad is trying to regroup the thing and get the thing back. Fix the house. They're repairing the flooring and the roof, and they're going back to where they were. So I guess they don't really need no help from us. They're going to do their thing their way. So kudos to them.
But even writing too, like I noticed too, a lot of the songs was written by the Trinidadian this year too. You noticed that?
What songs?
Most of the songs like normally Problem is write a lot of songs for Trinidadian. This year I didn't see a lot of songs from him in Trinidad.
I don't check that because I would not know. Problem I would have to hear a Problem say that he wrote for this or he wrote for that. But for me to really check, and if he write for anybody, I wouldn't be aware of that.
Oh, that's one thing I just check.
It seems like you check into
that. Yeah. That's my thing. That's my thing. I love to. That's the first thing. Let's check out who write this song. I like to know who write these songs, man. Yeah. But this year, I didn't see too much production from him. I didn't see too much compared to previous years. No, I didn't see a lot.
Boy, if even Problem didn't write for much Trinidad and Problem technically writing for almost the whole Caribbean now.
Yeah. That's something I observe.
Yeah, Problem is writing for so many people that you don't even know. It's like James P. James Peters write for a lot of people and we don't know.
Right.
James Peters writes so many songs and we don't know who to be.
Yeah. Jude, let me play a song. I want to play a song for you. I want you tell me what you think about this song. Okay. Hold on.
Problem is a problem. But 3 seconds. Hey, yeah. Help me sing this loud. As sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna love you forever. So come you say, as sure as the sea will rush the shore, I'm gonna love you forever. So come you say, and I could never ever turn my back on you. And I just can't afford to go on there without you. Hear me loud. It have nothing sweeter than soca music. I just can't refuse it. Give me more. It have nothing sweeter than soca music. I just can't refuse it. Give me more. And when you see me touch down, the whole party lift up. Every hand start going up. And every girl start fling it up. The vibe sweet just like the drink in the cup. Yeah. The whole party lift up.
Yes. What do you think about that song?
I know the rhythm. It's not rhythm.
Yeah, rhythm. It's a rhythm, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Problem have another song on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. I downloaded that. Somebody sent it to me.
Right.
You notice what is happening there with the rhythm itself. You notice we getting back the iron and the jamming and the that kind of vibe there. Notice we had to go back there.
Yeah.
So here the amount of iron in that tune and guitar riff something. We have to go back where foundation of the music came, and then we build from there. You can't build a house from the roof come down. You have to build it from the ground up. And somehow we have to look down to where the foundation is and start rebuilding from the bottom, come back up. But that is a brilliant song.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
whole rhythm is brilliant. The whole rhythm brilliant.
Yeah, the rhythm bad, the rhythm bad, bad, bad.
And they
So
who do it?
I'm not sure who did the rhythm, but probably wrote 40 songs and Dimes and the Pixel wrote the other song.
I don't know about that. Nearly sound like a friction or parry, but
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't sound the writer. I don't really sound I don't sound the writers. You ask me the writers. I know the writers. But
yeah,
But the rhythm is a nice rhythm. The rhythm is a nice rhythm.
yeah,
So
one of the best so far.
yeah. So I wanna ask you some things. Some of the young artists in St. Vincent, like which young artists you feeling in St. Vincent?
Right now,
Yeah, right now, yeah.
um, I like Hans. Hans a fairly young guy. I like the youth man JR.
Hey, I think personally, I think JR is a superstar. That's my guy. I look out for every. I love JR. That's my guy.
Yeah, I like one thing I admire about him. He listens. And when he came here, when Asbot was doing the live performance thing, and I
Yeah, the
heard the
showcasing.
song,
Yeah,
huh?
the showcase when we're showcasing the
Yeah,
artists. Yeah.
yeah. When I heard the song, I said, "Boy, you could win Raga Soca." No?" So me and he was sitting outside, and he said, "Boy, I don't know. I could try." I say, "You could win the Raga Soca, but you have to do one thing. You are doing Raga when everybody in the show is drinking rum to get ready for power. Hardly anybody pay attention to the Raga. So what you do, forget about the crowd. They're only hyping for power. So do your song directly for the judges." And then he asked me, "Boy, how?" I say, "Tell them what you are singing about." So in his break, he said, "I'm doing this one for the mass man and for the culture and for the pan man." And I text immediately, I put up my list, he win. Brian, tell me the song is not no song. I said, "Brian, you going to win." You understand? And he win. Because you know why? He listened. He pay attention to what I was telling him. So I can't talk to nobody else today and I say. So I take a back seat and leave the big guns to do what they want to do. Because I have a list coming out soon
About what?
on Facebook
Alice, about what?
from about 2010 to
Uh,
now. All the so-called kings and big boys who don't fall out and drop out the race.
Jude, customers ready for invitation. Tell St. Jude
Yeah.
you had to go?
Huh?
You had to go?
The woman them want to sing, so you could ask me one more thing.
Okay,
The woman
okay,
them
all right,
can sing, tell
all right,
me.
okay. So one more thing, just your opinion on Carnival. Just anything about Carnival. Your opinion on Carnival right now in St. Vincent.
Um, I'm going to say something, and this is going to be the troublesome part of your show. And for me, we need to take the politics away from Carnival. Years ago, we had a Carnival Development Committee. Now, a committee was, let me say the Minister of Culture was John Hahn. Then you had this man over here named Lennox Bowman. He outside of the NDP realm. He in the other party. He is the chairman. You had Ricky Hillocks, Labour Party. You had Cedric Mills. Well, everybody knows Cedric always on the scale. Wherever it go, it go. Then you had so many people, Maliata, he on another scale. But they came together as one and made a carnival. Now today, we have a carnival that is a political affiliated party. So we change the name from Carnival Development Committee to Carnival Development Corporation. So now we have a ULP Carnival where all the major players, even people who never played a costume, never know what is a mask, never been in a mask tent, don't know what certain things make up carnival and know what the hell. Because now it becomes a corporation where a man could tell you, well, I appointed by cabinet. No need no damn cabinet, we need a committee of people who could make carnival happen. Not no damn thing where you appointed by this and you appointed by that, and we don't need that. And that's what killing carnival. And I will tell you the reason why I say so. In Kingston, the people are not with the government. From Camden Park, go back. But you're giving them your version of a carnival. Why is it people who live right there in Level Garden, Sharps, Edinburgh, Atley Hall, Sion Hill, why they're not coming in town? I want them to answer that. How come people in walking distance in my carnival, the whole of Sion Hill walking, coming down the road, you know, everybody going in town? Why is it people who live right in the proximity of the carnival in the city is not in the carnival? You know why? Because they see it as a carnival, a political party carnival. That's how they see it. So, and before I take my money and go get look the show and get we ain't going in town. Oh, you can't get people from Level Garden. Nobody from my village, Tongue Hill, is going town. I don't see Sharps people like me in town. So what do you get? An empty city. Yeah, you catch what going on?
Yeah, listen.
An empty city with the people sitting down watching the icebox with not one single sale, because all they see is you presenting a party carnival. And who don't like that, that's their business. But that is what it is.
Jude, you gotta come back and we gotta do part two because we still ain't get to touch a lot of stuff. I wanna get to touch with you, man. So
them ladies are cussing me, so anytime you feel like, just call me.
Yeah, so before Carnival, I want when the songs them come out, I wanna get you back on and we go talk about the new songs them too, and we talk about Carnival, right?
Yeah, man, no problem.
Blessings, brother. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yes.
All right, blessings. All right, cool.
All right, cool. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Wow. I hope you guys enjoy that, man. You know, I learned a lot of stuff tonight, man. Yeah. I know Jude from a long time, man. Yeah, we grew up, you know, around the same area. So, big up Jude one time for coming on and give us his time. Appreciate it. I hope you guys appreciate it. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to play some new songs, then we're going to do the party. Let's touch the new songs first before we start the party, man. Kool Williams, go on, brother.
Problem is a problem.
Why?